Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, Mega Crashers here to bring to you a very unique game. This is something that my friend Tobias sent me, aka Duke Style. I'll leave a link in the description box down below to his channel. Check him out. He did this, and now he has challenged me to do the exact same thing. So, oh man, basically what this game is about is, well, as you see right here, you have to answer a question, and you have two choices. So basically, it's like, would you rather? And what happens is, you get asked a bunch of random questions, and based on your answer, after you answer it, the percentages will add up as to see how many agree with you and how many disagree with you. So, with that being said, how about we get right on our way with this game? So the first question asks, would you rather have 50% of your body burned or 100% of your body tattooed? Well, burns are painful. Burns are absolutely painful, and so is this. So, let me see here. Now, getting tattoos, yeah, that will be painful in that moment, but, you know, after the fact, tattoos look pretty cool. I don't have any tattoos, and I don't know if I'd ever get any, but if I was facing that situation, I would much rather have 100% of my body tattooed. So we'll just go with that. So we got 32% who disagree with me and 68% that agrees with me, sorry. So there we go. We're off to a good start. Now let's go to the next question. If you were to be eaten alive, would you rather be swallowed head first or be swallowed feet first? Oh god. Oh man. I would probably much rather be swallowed head first. That way it's just like, you know, the death is more quicker. Because if I was to be swallowed feet first, it's like the fear of it being drawn out. Oh my god. I wouldn't be able to handle it. So I would much rather be swallowed head first. And how many agree? 72% agree with me. And 28% disagree with me. So, yeah, there we go. Next question. I actually didn't even answer this question right here. The would you rather punch a pilgrim or eat an avocado? I guess the thing really, it answered it for me, but I really don't recall ever, like, even coming across this question, so that's a little bit weird. So let's move on to the next one, eh? And I already answered this one. Okay, so, would you rather light your hands on fire for a minute, light your feet on fire for a minute? Probably my feet. My feet, because, at least I'd still be able to walk on them, right? Well, after them being all healed up and stuff like that. Plus, feet are more easier to be covered, you know, because, you know, you wear socks and shoes and all that stuff. So, light your feet on fire for a minute. And 65% agree with me, and 35% disagree with me. So, alright, cool. So, let's see. Would you rather be wanted for murder and be on the run, be a homeless man who only has boxers? Oh, god. Oh, man. That's a good... Oh, man. Well, the thing of it is, I would never want to be, wanted for murder, so... that's pretty much out of the question, but being a homeless man who only has boxers, do you realize how cold that would get for me, especially in the winter? I mean, I just... Oh, my God. Wow. Alright. If I was to answer, would you rather? I would rather be a homeless man in boxers. What the fuck? So 39% agree with me and 61% disagree. So 61% of people would much rather be wanted for murder and be on the run. Well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose that if you ever were to be jailed, at least you wouldn't freeze to death because you would have clothes, but I don't know. I'm uncomfortable with that idea. So let's see. Would you rather walk barefoot in a Lego factory or walk barefoot on burning hot coals? That's easy. Lego factory. And let's see. 78% agree with me. Okay. There we go. Nice. So let's move on to the next question. Would you rather have your biggest dream and worst nightmare come true? Never have any of your dreams come true.
Well,
I would actually much rather the first question. Have your best dreams and the worst nightmares come true, because of the fact that, you know, if your best dream is something that means the entire world to you and all that stuff, it's like, then, you know, make it happen. Of course, yeah, you gotta deal with the consequences in the form of your worst nightmare coming true, but if you know how to deal with it, then, you know, then it's okay. It's like high risk, high reward kind of thing. So we'll go with that. 54% agree and 46 disagree. That is close. That's actually very close. So let's move on to the next question. Would you rather watch Batman from 1989 or watch The Dark Knight from 2008? Well, that's easy. 2008. 78% agree. Okay, wow, there we go. So for the most part, I'm kind of agreeing with the majority here. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see, would you rather eat nothing but ketchup for a week or eat nothing but mustard for a week? That's easy. Ketchup, I can't fucking stand mustard. And 79% agree with me on there. There we go. Okay, let's move on. Would you rather only talk in third person or never be able to call someone by name? Only talk in third person. Because if I was to never be able to call someone by name, then, you know, that just would be a little bit, like, that'd be a little bit difficult, because, you know, if I'm talking about somebody, then it's like, you know, no one's gonna know who the hell I'm talking about, so I'd much rather go talk in third person. Holy shit, that's a close margin right there. 53% agree and 47 disagree. Wow, okay. So let's move on to the next question. Would you rather punch every trick-or-treater that knocks on your door in the face, or answer the door for trick-or-treaters completely naked? Face palm to the max. Oh my fuck. Holy shit, okay. Oh my god. That is, oh man, that is a tough question. Oh, okay. I would probably much rather punch every trick-or-treater in the face, because the last thing I would want is to expose myself naked to the fucking outside public. There's no way I would do that. And that is close, but holy shit. So 48% agree with me and 52 disagree. Okay. Okay. Let's move on. If there's no risk of injury, would you rather hug a panda or hug a polar bear? Polar bear for sure. I love them polar bears. Okay, 70% disagree with me and 30% agree. Wow. Talk about going against the majority crowd right there. Damn. Alright. Let's move on. Would you rather be an amazing security guard? Well, hello, I already am. I mean, I work as healthcare security for 4 years. I'm totally amazing. Right? Yeah. Anyways, or be a terrible FBI agent. Well, FBI agents make a lot more money, so we'll say be a terrible FBI agent. Wow! Okay! So 66% disagree with me, and 34 agree. Okay. Okay. Let's move on! Would you rather have a huge head and a small neck, or have a huge neck and small head? Huge neck and small head, that's for sure. Oh my god! What the hell? Okay. So 68% people disagree. They would much rather have a huge head and a small pencil neck. And 32% would much rather have a huge neck and a small head. Well, big neck I was thinking about was a big neck stack of muscle. You know, like make myself look bigger kind of thing. Oh god. Alright. Let's move on here. Would you rather be famous for curing cancer or be famous for making everyone on Earth live forever? Well, that's easy. Be famous for curing cancer. 66% agree with me. Hello. There we go. Well, I mean, like, curing cancer, like, that right there is pretty much, like, every scientist's biggest dream, you know? So, you know, of course I would go with that. Would you rather be invincible or be invisible? be invincible, for sure. Because being invisible, it's like, no one would notice you. Being invincible, on the other hand, a lot of people would notice. And 55% agree. That's actually a surprisingly close margin right there. Only 10% difference. Wow. Let's move on. Would you rather be eaten by a zombie or be burnt at the stake? Both are really painful, but I would much rather be burnt at the stake, because if I was eaten by a zombie, that would just be a long and painful death. But being burnt, I think you die quicker. We'll go with that. Holy shit! So 57% people would much rather be eaten by a zombie. Are you serious? Wow. Okay. Okay. Alright. Would you rather string your opponent along for the entire fight, crush them from the beginning? That's easy. Crush them from the beginning. And 74% agree with me. I mean, it's kind of like, it kind of doesn't surprise me, but I don't know. That's just wow, that's just weird. Alright, move on. Would you rather have your face on the $1 bill or have your face on the $100 bill? That's easy. $100 bill. Because you're worth more. That'd be a good pose for if I was on the $100 bill. What you looking at? Better not spend me. Let's move on. Would you rather drive a bright red smart car or be spanked by Rosie O'Donnell every morning? Ugh. Smart car for the win. 72 agree with me. Okay, there we go. Let's move on. Would you rather star in a cartoon movie, star in a live action movie? Action all the way, bro. And 74% agree. Hell yeah. There we go. Let's move on. Would you rather admit all your guilty pleasures to friends and family, or never partake in any of your pleasures again? Wow. I would much rather admit it, because if I was to never be able to participate in any of them and go through life like that, I wouldn't be happy. And I wouldn't be happy. And no, I'm not going to elaborate what those are. It's none of your business. And 63% agree. Sweet. So let's see. Would you rather get completely drunk after 1 unit of alcohol, or never be able to get drunk? How much is 1 unit anyways? I don't even know. Wow. I mean, you know, drunken times equals drunken adventures and drunken fun and all that stuff. So, go with that. And 61% disagree. Damn! And 39% agree. I can kind of understand why the majority would disagree, though. I mean, that's understandable. Let's move on. If you could, would you rather end world hunger, find a cure for cancer? Find a cure for cancer. Easy. Easy. And 62% agree. Woo! Perfect. Let's move on. If you were a 5-year-old girl, would you rather be a mermaid, be a princess? Be a mermaid, hell yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to swim underwater. Oh my god! 50%, oh man, that's like even right there. It's literally the only difference is the number of people in like a few thousands that would much rather be a princess. But it's 50-50 pretty much. Damn! That is so epic right there. Okay, let's move on. Would you rather not be able to wear clothes, not be able to speak? Alright. Well, if I wasn't able to wear clothes... That's tough. Not be able to wear clothes, not be able to speak. Not being able to speak, like being mute, that would suck. Fuck. There's always sign language though, so, I mean, yeah, not be able to speak. So 43% agree and 57% disagree. What the fuck? Okay. Alright. I gotta understand that, but let's see. Would you rather get an atomic wedgie or get a swirly? Get an atomic wedgie for sure. Because I wouldn't want to be fucking drowning in a swirly. No way. And 61% agree with me, so there you go. Would you rather be blind or be dumb? I think I would much rather be dumb, because if I wasn't able to see, fuck, that would suck. That'd be kind of terrifying. And how many percent? 61%. There we go. There we go. So 61% of people agree. Perfect. Would you rather have a lightsaber or have a helper monkey? Lightsaber all the way, bro. And 62% agree. Hell yeah. Woo! So let's move on. Would you rather be the homemaker, be the breadwinner? What does that mean by homemaker and breadwinner? I think homemaker, like, would that be someone who's like a stay-at-home person, and the breadwinner is like someone who makes money or something like that? Because like, if you think about it, bread is another term for money. So I'd probably much rather bring home the bread kind of thing. And 56% agree. Perfect. But that's a pretty close margin right there, 12%. Would you rather only listen to bagpipes music or listen to banjo music? Well, bagpipes, I do love the bagpipes. I mean, that's a bit of my Scottish and Irish in me. It's funny, though, I don't exactly have a Scottish or Irish accent. Unless, of course, I'm drinking scotch. Then I have a Scottish accent, and I remember one time, funny story, I was drinking some scotch, and I started speaking Scottish, and one of my friends who actually happens to be English, oh man, I was aggravating the hell out of him, but it was funny. Like, people were laughing and enjoyed it, so I mean, it was a good time, and he knew I was just messing around. So let's see here. Only listen to bagpipes or listen to banjo music. Banjo sounds pretty cool, though. I will say that. Bagpipes, for sure. Whoa! 27% agree and 73 disagree. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Alright. Let's move on. Wow. I got nothing to say. Let's see. Would you rather be Dr. Zoidberg or be Kith? I don't even know who Kith is, so Dr. Zoidberg for the win. Okay. If you died, would you rather have your brain transplanted into a robot? Have your brain transplanted into the opposite sex? That's a tough question. I don't think I would be able to, like, explain really, like, either answer. I mean, both, like, I'm dead, so what they do with my body parts after death is irrelevant. So, well, just be transplanted into the opposite sex. And 62% agree with me. Well, I suppose, like, if my brain was to be transplanted into someone with the opposite sex, at least a part of me would be with them, and they could continue my crazy legacy. So, there you go. Would you rather cut off each individual toe with a knife, or pull out each tooth with pliers, including molars? Oh, God. Well, if I was to pull out my teeth, I could just get false teeth, so there you go. And they'd all be gold. Whoa! So 33% disagree. What the fuck? Okay. Shit. So, I guess people would choose to be toeless. Okay. 67%. Wow. Alright, would you rather stick your cut-up hand in a bowl of vinegar? Ugh! Oh, that'd be painful. Eat 3 worms alive. Eat 3 worms alive. I've never done it, but who knows? That could be a challenge for down the road. Like, maybe when we grow to, like, an enormous amount or some shit like that. And how many? 53% agree. Hell yeah. But damn, that's close. 6% difference. Would you rather be near death or have hear everything 2 minutes later? The fuck? Okay. Let me see here. Be near death. I just, wow. Either of those conditions would suck, but I guess if I had to choose, and I don't even know why I would choose this, be near death, I guess. And 59% agree, so I guess that would be a much better thing to have. So we'll answer 3 more questions. Would you rather be able to only speak in LOL speak or be only able to type in 1337 speak? Oh, God. Well, I think that both of them are pretty strange anyways. I guess only LOL speak? I don't know. And 55 disagree, and 45% agree. Okay. That's still a pretty close margin, 10%. Okay, so we'll answer 2 more questions. Would you rather always be hot or always be cold? Well, I'm usually always hot to begin with, because I have a high body temperature, okay? I take after my Aunt Carol. You know, I'm usually, more hot than not. I mean, funny story, we'll rewind back to about 3 years ago, when I was, you know, when I'm still working at my, job as, healthcare security. It'd be winter time, okay? It would be fucking blizzarding outside. And what would happen was that, like, we would have cameras that used to be functional, and we would see people constantly huddled in an alcove of one of our buildings, right? And it would still be on property, and they would be smoking, and there's a strict no smoking policy. That's a bylaw, right? So, I would see those people, huddled, and you see, I loved doing this. What would end up happening was I would take off outside without my jacket. I would just be in my fucking shirt, right? I would be in my shirt, and rather than coming straight on and them seeing me and, you know, them putting out their smoke and, you know, acting like, oh, you know, nothing happened, we were just out for fresh air, blah, blah, blah. What I would do is I would be sneaking along the side of the building, and my dispatcher and one of my friends would be seeing me do that. They'd be laughing their asses off, at the same time questioning how the hell is this guy not freezing his nuts off. I'd be, you know, scooching along the side of the building, and then as soon as I turned the other corner, I would run, and I would catch them smoking when it's on property. And some of these people I've caught more than once, right? I've caught them more than once, so it's like you can't play the fool when I've already caught you once. It's like you just know that that you think you can get away with it because you don't think anyone would see it. Well, hello, there's a reason why there's cameras, and there's a reason why I saw you. Don't sass me. Don't give me that shit. So, always be hot, because I'd be able to do stuff like that. And 41% disagree! What the fuck? Oh my god, okay. Alright, that's... alright. Well, I would always rather be hot, because that would give me an excuse to be shirtless throughout the winter. So, there we go. One more question. Would you rather have a high salary in a job you hate or have a low salary in a job you love? Ooh. And what a way to end this right here. Fuck. I mean, I'd be able to put away a lot more money. You know, stick out for a few years if I was in a job that I hated. Right? And then I could either quit and go to another job, you know, take all my savings with me, or, you know, not be able to really ever save and be in a job that I love. I mean, like, there's happiness and all that stuff, but it's like, you also gotta think about your future, too. Like, I mean, for example, like, one of my jobs, I guess you could call it a job, but I more or less call it like a hobby that I'm really, really, really passionate about, although it is possible. It would be YouTube. You know, there's a lot of people that do YouTube for a living, and I would hope to one day do YouTube for a living. I mean, once we have enough people subscribed and once we get enough views on our videos and, you know, start making money, you know, I could start getting somewhere with it. But right now, it's like, we gotta bide our time. Right now, I'm working a full-time job outside of YouTube to be able to make money, to be able to allow for me to live on a day-to-day basis. I would not be able to live on a day-to-day basis strictly doing YouTube. So, yeah. Would much rather have a high salary job and then, you know, stake it out for a few years, you know, take it, whatever, and then when I have enough money saved up, move on kind of thing, right? So, have a high salary. And 55% agree, and wow, that's a pretty close margin. 10% difference. So 45 would disagree, 55 would agree. So, there you go. Alright guys, so I'm going to end it off right here. And if you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you guys want to try this game, I'll actually leave a link in the description box down below. And this asked you some really tough questions, as you saw here on this video. So, you know, if you want to be tested in that way, then feel free to try this out. And be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to Mega Crasher in the community! Because when we are a community, tightly knit as one, and we shine brighter than the sun. But you already know that! But for those that don't and are seeing this video, hit that subscribe button and I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed! So I shall see you guys next upload!